Yo, got a few minutes here. I know I was on for a while earlier, but just got a new CF2 micro SD card reader here off Amazon. The previous one I had two micro SD slots, and it did not work. Got a 32 gig card here, formatted with FAT32. Just gonna see if this works. If it does, awesome, and I'll probably try out some larger size drives. But for the moment, we're just going to see if we can get this to load. So, okay, booting, good. We're not going to insert this while it's powered on because that can cause problems. But we'll get it in there and see what we get. Because in my previous 1K, I had a 256 gig drive. FAT32 does go up to 2 terabytes, so it's possible we can get a pretty large drive. Probably would have some performance issues, but wanted to see what we can do here. But first, I got to make sure that the reader works at all. I have noticed it gets hung here once in a while. Not sure if it's because it doesn't like the card or what, but we'll find out. Mode. Yeah, it's like really hung up. There we go. Mode, load. Memory card. All right, well, it is seeing it. So that is a good sign. I don't know, I'll figure out doing like a post or something. Doesn't see the subdirectory. That's a problem. It saw the drive. That's weird. Hey, Damon, what's up? How you doing? Let's see if it works any better for a new boot. It might be it doesn't like that reader still. Because that is a very basic 32 gig SD card. So I would imagine it would work. All right. And the mode button gets hung up here. Well, good is good. Are you in a snowy place or not snowy place? Let's say out here, we got snow. All right, this time it is seeing the directory. I don't know why I was having a problem before. But looks like we're good, except we can select the files. We're not playing anything. The file names might be too long. Snow. Yeah, we're doing pretty good with snow out here. We should. Can I just do it? Wrong file. Okay, maybe they're 32-bit files or something, or 24-bit. I guess I'll have to figure out what's going on here. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Well, I'm up in New Hampshire, so definitely we've got maybe, we've had more, but it's like melted down to about a ½ inch of snow or so. Oh, the SD card does not want to come out here. Might have to see if I can adapt this to make it easier to get out so I don't have to keep sliding the compact flash out. Let's see, I need a adapter. The last time I was in Pennsylvania, I was in or around Hershey, Pennsylvania. They were doing fireworks near the park, and the cornfield across from the park caught on fire, and my daughter really freaked out. She was worried. We were at like a mall area, and she was worried the crop fire was going to come over to us. It did not, but it was impressive to see how quickly all that stuff caught on fire. It was no joke. All right, Ghost Syndicate, Stardust. Yeah, my guess is I need to convert to 16-bit, but I just popped out the card just to see what the heck these files are. All right, this is get info. 24-bit, of course. Well, Fission is pretty decent for doing some bulk sample conversion. Let's give it a try. Oh no, I just opened the same window like 20 times. Gotta hit the batch conversion button. Okay, closed all that. That mess is gone. Open. No. Window. Show start window. Batch convert files. There we go. I suspect I'm going to need to. I'm on Mac. Fission is an app made by Rogue Amoeba. I'm probably going to want to consider going through and writing some programs to try and check file name lengths and stuff too. I got to go do that for the Dirty Wave M8 anyway, because it also has file name length restrictions, and it's probably worth getting some batch conversion going. Export destination. I'll put it back on the drive here. Just call it, make a directory one shots. Whoops. Select, make another directory under that. We'll just make a kick folder. And we'll use that, convert. Okay, that's all done. We can eject the drive. I just want to make sure this stuff works. So yeah, Cool Edit Pro's quite good as well. I can't remember if they have a Windows version for it, but or a Mac version, I mean. I used to have that on Windows a long time ago, but I haven't really used Windows since Windows 7. My parents have it for their business. They get 10 and 11, so I'll try and help do admin stuff for them from time to time, but yeah. Okay, one shots, kicks. There we go. Wasn't there a quick assign here when you loaded? I thought. I thought you could do that. It's been a long time since I've used JJOS. Program snares. Don't know why I have a program named snares, but that's fine. It is fine. just curious about a couple of things since I'm here. Ugh. Apparently I'm doing it wrong. Erase all this junk. All right, well, I'll just undo this mess. Yeah, unfortunately, fortunately, he had the tool chain to be able to write software for it. I mean, it's really old information, so I might be a little bit wrong, but JJ worked for Akai, and the laws in Akai are different. So apparently, they didn't pay him for the work he did. He kept the I think he kept the computer that he did the work on. Might have been like a laptop or desktop, but it had like the build tool chain and was able to keep working on it. And I think because Akai didn't pay him, he was in a weird legal spot where he was able to monetize work on the MPC. Was working on a Windows app to do the same thing, but unfortunately that kind of got binned. I don't know. I don't know why exactly, because he was doing it had some really cool features. It wasn't feature complete with like JJOS 2, but definitely had some cool stuff you could do with it. But like this is all like super old MPC forum stuff, so I might be a little bit wrong because it's been years since I remember any of that stuff. Let's see, I can go into what the TRREC mode kind of thing. Yeah, I had somebody that was Zumo was on Discord and was like, "Hey, I'm selling my MPC 1K. Anybody interested?" And it's like I sold mine off a few years ago. I kind of missed it. I was like, "I'll grab it." All right, so I'm gonna have to do a lot of file conversions, which is fine. I don't mind doing that. It just takes time. Let's see, how does this work for next sequence? Or what is it? I know I can switch tracks. Well, not let me do sequence change. Oh, there we go. Back to... Oh, because I don't have a loop set up or anything. All right. I am slowly remembering this stuff. Loop 1-to-1, again, just to make it easy. Oh, I don't have... Okay. No. Doing it wrong. I gotta put a program in first. That's probably why it's being weird. Yeah, you're right. Loop is off. I'm also looking at it from an angle, so I can't actually read what any of the display says for the F button, so I keep looking over to OBS to see what it says. So, I don't know if I want to get the angle display or get something to mount it up so I can actually see it better. I'll figure it out. I think if I remember correctly, you got to be in play mode to erase. Yeah. Or you have to be overdub record mode. Mode here. Not, oh, because you said it. I gotta be in loop mode, and then I gotta be in 808 mode. Right. Do. And now we're off to the races. Just nuke that stuff. I might get the bigger angle display. I don't know. We'll see. What I'd really like to get is the battery upgrade, but it doesn't look like soundmod.io is selling it at all. Looks like he had like one late last year, but I reached out to him to see if he was going to do another one. I haven't heard anything. All right, we'll switch back to 808 mode just so I can... No. Undo. Oh. Number 5. Okay. 808. There we go. So I can... Why I'm doing all this nonsense is I've been trying to remember how mutes work for track mutes. I thought I could do next sequence here. I didn't think you had to stop to go to the next sequence. There we go. Now it's moving. I don't know why it wasn't changing before. Now, if I remember correctly, if you do track mute, it carries over. It does not carry over. Probably there might be a setting for that. I'll have to look. It's something I've been looking at on the MPC Live for trying to build out a bunch of drum kits and stuff, and then be able to get a more live or performance focused setup. I gotta play with it more. Let's see. My daughter seems to still be at Chick-fil-A. I guess she's getting herself all set up. Yeah, because what I'm trying to figure out, and I mean, I have a few ways I can do it on the MPC Live, but I kind of want to use the MPC 1000 instead. Try and just get like a really stripped down set of kits, like kicks, snares, hats, and stuff, and figure out some ways to kind of like mix it up, change things up, you know? So I don't know. I like the Force by and large. What do you wish they had fixed on the Force? To me, the big one that comes to mind is like there's just certain things with chopping that the MPC does better that the Force didn't learn how to do. I didn't mind the arranger, but it probably needed way more CPU so that you could have more plugins and like run more plugins and effects, more memory. I mean, although the disk streaming was fine, I haven't really hit the need for myself for the MPC for disk streaming yet. But if I do go get carried away with a bunch of drum kits and stuff going, I may need it depending on how I want to work with some of the chops and things. So, but I actually have been having pretty good luck trying to build out a set to play, loading up samples and then using 16 level slice hasn't been too bad. I'm going to pronounce it possibly a little wrong. Is that Marichi? I hadn't kept up much with the alternate firmware, but I know they did add some features. I think they used some of the they were able to hook into some of the loopbacks for like the MIDI devices and things to add in some extra features. But I don't know that it was a ton of stuff. The MPCs have been kind of picking up some of the tricks. So you got like some of the I don't know if it has all of the macro support that the Force had, but um, it certainly was able to do some of that kind of work. Like the macro, you get like a lot of the macro stuff, and you can program them into going different like negative values and stuff. So you can do like some cool crossfades and things on the MPC that you could also that was pretty easy to do on the Force. Um, the mixer coming over to the MPC, I'm mostly okay with. I'm still a little irritated that you can't that we've lost programs. That feels like a step back for me from the MPC world, but I know we can't have everything we want. So, and I know that the programs for people trying to build out songs and things on the MPC, if you were new, it was a nightmare trying to explain how and why certain things worked because it usually didn't do what people wanted it to do, even though it was doing exactly what you told it to. Yeah, if you're talking about the MIDI stuff, I mean, there's definitely some really gnarly bugs in the MPC and if I remember correctly from the Force firmware for like the note off bugs causing like all across all tracks to get the note off event and some other things. I don't know if they've fixed them yet, but we'll see. So let's see. We can. Was the reason why this wasn't working before? No, I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna have to spend some more time with the MPC 1K again because there's some things here that I remember being able to do that I'm just not finding. Wait, is that I don't remember a repeat in here. Is that something that was added? Nice. Make it tone. I don't think this is doing what I was expecting. Okay. Not sure why holding this down is being weird. I didn't know you could program that per note. That's interesting. I don't know that I would use it much, but it is interesting. Let's see, what else are we going to do here? Maybe I'm done for the moment. I'm going to probably, or done with this. I can probably goof around with something else for a little bit. All right, stop that. What are we going to hook up or into? I have serious work to do. Do I have an Instagram? I do, but like I hardly use it. Mostly it's because my daughter. I mostly use it because my daughter sends me weird video clips or something. Um, but yeah, I don't. I think it's near underscore Tao. Somebody took the name, and I was like, whatever, it's fine. So if somebody else has registered it on Instagram, they can have it. But yeah, you should be able to find me. If I actually get more message, I messaged the guy that does the batteries for the MPC 1000. So I was in there checking once in a while to see if he's responded back for anything, but I haven't heard from him. Let's see, I need one more cable for the moment. I was messing around. DiBiase showed me something. People were on the DiBiase stream last night were explaining things to me, and I was just being dense for the OPXY. Now I understand how the multi-sample piano works better. I was like, I gotta mess with it some more to kind of practice using it. It's one of the areas I haven't played with it much. Let's just start something new. All right, I grabbed the M8 because one of the things I've been playing around with has been using it to chop and then loading the chops into the OPXY. Just go grab something random. All right. See if we get the volume up loud enough. That just seems like a rhythmic note. It says it's E. We don't need the multi-sampler if we're going to load this. Let's do a regular sampler. If this really is an E, then we should be able to load into here. The points could probably be a little bit better. Transition. See if I can get a smoother loop here. Seems pretty good. All right. We want a polyphony of mono for this. Shift and actually, do we want legato? We'll go mono. Hey Ken, what are you jealous of, man? I'm not trying to make anybody jealous. We'll drop the tempo down. Get some clipping or pop in there. Look, I could barely afford to pay attention to plenty of stuff either. What I will tell you, I have been accumulating music gear over 25 years now. So some of this stuff just like takes time. Um, Honestly, I think you can make a ton of music with like one or two nice pieces of gear. So, um, think about like what it is you're looking for or want to get, and I mean the SP404 Mark II, great device. You can get an original Akai MPC live, not the Mark II, for like really cheap. The MPC one is really cheap. Um, the I mean, it's like it depends what your budget is. Like, how much are you looking to spend, Ken? Because like I like and like, are you looking more for sequencers? Are you looking more for an instrument? Do you know what you're looking for? Well, maybe the filter is set to nothing. Oh, it is. You want to make beats. I mean, for $100, you can get the PO33. It's super basic. Actually, forget that. Phone, if you've got a phone, just go get Koala. Like, just go buy it. Like, get that. With the expansions that give you Katana, which has a whole bunch of sample editing additions plus a synthesizer, and the other one I forget the name of it, but it gets you the mixer. Um, Go get Koala. Like, just start there if you don't have it. Like you'll be using the touch screen to tap stuff out, but you can go absolutely nuts, and make like some great stuff with it. For $1,000, if you're trying to be at or under 1,000, you can get. I would say check out the Roland Ira stuff. The P6 is fantastic. Yeah, it's Samurai Damon. Um, for like $220, you can get the Roland P6. It is basically a stripped down version of the SP404 Mark II. I'll go grab it. Yeah, so PO33, like you can probably find this on Reverb for 60 to 80 bucks would be my guess. Might not have a case, like the silicone case, but it has 4 notes of polyphony. You've got 16 tracks, basically, or 16 bars you can work with that you can sequence into songs. The top half of the sample, it's only got 40 seconds of sample time. So if you want to go old school, it will make you think about how to reuse and get the most out of every second of sample time. But this thing's pretty slick for what it is. So the top half gets you like basically instruments that you can pitch up and down, and then the bottom half gets you like drum hit or like multiple slot kind of things on it. Reverb, I can't speak. I have never been scammed on it. It's caught a few people trying to scam me and like rejected people trying to buy stuff off of me. Everything I've gotten through Reverb has been legit. It's worked. If I've ever had a problem, which has been super rare, like the people have either been really good to work with. I sold something. The only thing that I ever had an issue was I sold a guitar pedal, and it was mildly broken when it got to the guy. I talked with him about giving him a discount on it if he wanted to keep it or ship it back to me, and I would repair it myself. He ended up reaching out to the company, and they repaired it for him for free, which was amazing. Actually, I gotta send them a thank you message again, just as a thank you, Christmas thank you. But so you get the PO33 will get you 4 notes of polyphony. The P6 here has 16 notes of polyphony, plus the granular engine gets you, I think, another 4 notes, if I remember correctly. Sample time, again, pretty restricted. Each of these main slots starts at 3 seconds at the highest quality with stereo. You can sample in mono to get 6 seconds, and then you can start reducing these sample rates lower to get, I think, up to 28 seconds per sample slot of sample time. With that, you can like make drum kits and play these as like pitched up synths. It's got the Iris line has a pretty good ecosystem. So like I've got like the S1. These are the only 2 I've got, but they get some other ones. But this is a nice synthesizer in a really small package. They've got a very consistent connection and stuff to it, so you can hook them up together and have like 2 or 3 of these things and just play with them by themselves. So if you're just looking for something you can toss into a backpack real easy, this thing's great. The USB on it is awesome because it will show up to your computer as a device, as an audio device. So you can send and receive audio to your computer, your phone, whatever, which is great. The SP404 Mark II is going to work similarly, where it will show up as a audio device on your computer. You can still keep working with it and send audio back and forth, no problem. The thing you'll find if you want that kind of behavior, the MPCs don't do it. That's probably the biggest gripe I have with the MPCs is you have to put them into controller mode so that you can then basically have a music application running on the your computer, not on your phone, but it will absolutely get you like set up so you can work with it. If you want to go standalone though, you're just gonna have to like forego having some of the niceties that Roland has put into their devices. If you have to choose between the One or the One Plus, I would say the One and the One Plus are probably the cheaper options. If you get the One, you're losing out on, I think, wireless and Bluetooth, and I think they might have done like an overhaul on the connections. The MPC Live is nice. You lose out on the speaker if you care about the speaker from the MPC Live 2. The other thing that you lose on the MPC here is there's somewhere back here. Yeah, you lose out. You don't get the CV outputs. But if you're getting started, trust me, you're not going to care about the CVs for doing control voltage with modular or guitar pedals and stuff. You'll be a ways away from worrying about that stuff. Um, yeah, as Damon says, I mean, for low money, look for a one. It's a great entry point, and they've held their value pretty well. So, I mean, a lot of stuff has. Um, you should be able to find a good condition MPC one in like the 400 to $500 range would be my guess. I haven't looked there, but uh, I mean, people from time to time are trying to upgrade. I think you're going to see a lot of people right now are either selling because they're hoping Akai's releasing something next year, or they might be selling because they're looking to upgrade to a slightly bigger one. But I mean, the MPC one is the, I'm going to say, bottom line of the MPC series, and it has every single feature that the other MPCs have. It's the only thing it's missing is some of the connectability. Um, for just getting started, you're not going to probably need or care about having multiple outputs. And if you liked the MPC one, you can still hook it up to a USB audio device and expand your audio that way, so without having to like sell it and get a new one. Um, yeah, I mean, I think Damon's right. Like, definitely look at the MPC stuff. Um, I don't have not really used Electron gear, so I can't speak to any of that stuff. Um, I would still say Koala though. I mean, like, if you just want to like go mess around with and learn a lot of the concepts, Koala's gonna it'll teach you a lot, and then you can kind of decide, do you just want to get a touchpad that is like a controller you can hook up to your phone or not, and then kind of go from there. If you got an iPad, there's a lot of really good apps like Loopy Pro can get you into some crazy stuff, but you have to kind of know what you're doing. Korg Gadget, absolutely check out Korg Gadget as well. Even like if you're not using some of this stuff, just as a sound source, being able to have Korg Gadget or some of these other things, so you can just record it into a device, and it's great. Um, I don't know. Like I would say I think people that try and go DAWless tend to be a little nutty. I mean, I usually start outside of the DAW and then figure like I'll just record stems out and kind of do arrangement and other things when I want to get more technical and complicated. But um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it just depends what you're looking to do. I think all these names are too long. Although maybe not. Let's go over here. Shift 1. Let's go to multi-sampler. Oh my gosh. I don't know that I would say Koala can operate in the same space as the MPC. You can do far more complicated things on the MPC than you can with Koala by and large. There's very few things that Koala can do that the MPC cannot, but the MPC can do a ton of stuff that Koala cannot do. But I get your point, Damon. Like, the Koala's, it's such a good starting spot. Thinks I'm in F minor. I could have played that in F minor. Dial it in. All right, so I don't think they've got anything in F minor here, which is okay. I don't want big brass. All right, I'm just going to load this. We'll go edit it. Let's go chop it here. And so what I'm just going to do is record this as notes chopped up from the M1, which is kind of silly, but we're going to do it. Got to figure out the right hand pattern to do this. Edit, right, play, record, play. All right, now it's pitching up because I'm playing outside. Okay. Do. This is kind of goofy. Wait. I'm going to turn off effects. Because it's looping. Okay, that's why it's messing with me. I'm just going to have to guess. Whoop. Edit. There we go. This is just being weird. This is just a OPXY-ism. Is there any kind of beats you're looking to make, Ken? Or just trying to figure all that stuff out? All right, so I got to get out of here. And first things first, I want this on mono. Just the start point. It must have picked up on some of the reverb tails. I've got Logic on the Mac. I'm okay with it, but not been like a huge fan. Hey, Bogota. This thing's wild. I don't think this is doing what I want. I need to find like chords or something more appropriate to load in here. All right, let's exit out. We'll try and find something else. Got plenty of random stuff to load anyway. What BPM are we at? 96. 95 is close enough. See what we can find. Hey, maybe I just play something. I don't care. I'm going to be here goofing around forever. Let's see what we can get going. Get a lead, strings. I don't know that they've done many updates for GarageBand. I mean, I think they really want you to get into the Logic ecosystem, but they keep releasing new sample packs and sounds and stuff for GarageBand, so there is some content out there for stuff to grab. Let's see. not quite mean to do it that way. We will clear the brain, because I want that to, when I was doing that panning, I want that to start on the 1. Did not use the track here. Kind of want to let's copy this, and we'll paste it in here. Open it up a little bit more. Actually, maybe I should go the other way. We should do a low pass here. So I can make a pretty quick, we'll make a new punch in effects. Let's make it 4 bars long. getting so track 3 has drums on it, but I've got it set up to be impacted by the brain, so it's going to change and flip up some of the drum sounds. Maybe cool, maybe not. Wait, that's not what I wanted to do. I was on the wrong track. Go here, go to brain. So basically each note is a bar now. So we could switch up. So now I just made a, so just what I did for a few of these like 1 to 4 bar patterns. We're now switching up using brain into like some different sections. So now it's 16 bars. We could mess with it. Turn 1 and 2 on. So these bars here are in the correct note. Here we're messing with everything. We'll mess with everything here. This will just get us into a normal, back to the regular pattern, just putting in a new one. So we won't have any of the crazy automation going on. This is just a, how it normally sounds. So new. So yeah, on the OPXY, you have, if you hold down the bar button, you can go from 1 to 4 bars. So instead of like that, just is how many pages worth of 16 steps that you've got. And then the one thing that you can do on the OPZ that's pretty much the same is if you're in your track, you can adjust how many steps each note is. So you can go up to 4 bars, and then if you hit the number 9, each step is like each 16th note is like a bar basically. So you can get up to 64 bars basically, which gets really weird and kind of complicated to work with. So usually what you might do is decide if you wanted to do 1 bar and then have each step, instead of being a 16th note, you can go 2 to make it an 8th note. 4 would be a quarter note. 8 is what, a half note. So you can make those kinds of adjustments if you want, just to still work in the 1 bar, or you can add in extra bars, and you can do both. You can kind of mix and match them. So like if I come in here and make a new drum track, I basically what you have is the option of, so we're going to do a house beat. Just drop this in. We'll go mute. Let's mute everything else out. So super boring. And you know, it's just like the OPZ. If you wanted like a double tap here at the end, you can go put in your I don't know. I keep wanting to say parameter locks. I forget what they are for teenage engineering lingo, but you can tap here and then make it every other or every 4 triggers this will trigger. You can do that. Or I can go make this a 4-bar loop, and you just tap the bar button to kind of flip between each page that you're on. So I can keep going in and program this in and kind of do it this way, where I could just add it in and I have everything programmed out, and I still have room for doing all of these step component. Was it step component? I think that's what they call it. So it just depends on kind of how you want to operate and navigate through it. But you can absolutely do that kind of stuff. So now I've got 4 bars. If I wanted to, I can make it play slower. So now it's going to play at half speed. Or I hit the 1, go back to normal speed. So I don't want to do that. What am I doing? So I just added in the snares. The reason why I was doing this is, well, one thing that you can, works a little bit differently is if I hold down here, it keeps the notes as you play it in wherever you land them. So you can unquantize them basically. So you can hear like my hit like on some of these is pretty terrible. It's not in time. So I can unquantize it. So it's basically keeping the actual timing for the MIDI notes, and you can, you know, if you don't want that to happen, you can put it back. But like it allows you to, if you really want to swing things or get some groove going, you can do it, and you can adjust how much or how little quantization you want to have applied. Yeah, the one thing that's I would, because I know a lot of people are complaining that you only get 9 of these slots per track. They're like, well, you get 16 on the OPZ. That is true, but the main difference between the OPZ is they're all linked together, whereas on the OPZ, I can, like if I want to come in and add, like if I unmute this other track here for track 2, I can switch to track 2, hit new, and I've now got a new one that I can just go play whatever I want. And even crazier is that each of these tracks for each pattern slot that you have. You can load a different instrument. So like if I'm like, hey, I don't like this, whatever's in here, I can just come in and load something completely different. Like this. And it's taking, because I let it quantize it, it's taking and kind of reapplying the swing and groove that I have on the metronome. But again, like I can turn that off and it'll play it as I just played it. So if I wanted to play differently, I can do that. And again, if I go back here, I've got these 3 tracks. It might be a little, maybe I should zoom in. I'm just gonna grab the edges on OBS here. So you might be able, it might not quite look like it, but there are 3 tracks here. You just, whatever track you're on, you can just rotate the this white knob to change into it. So I can change any of these like at will, and in the like in the middle. So it'll kind of like legato mode, as you'd have like Ableton Live. It lets you just kind of freewheeling zip around, which is pretty cool. You can't do this on the OPZ. So you end up with, you can make more combinations. You just don't have as many patterns. Like if you were just thinking like all of the first ones are one together, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, so I've got on this track, right now I've got a drum kit. So yes, each pattern has 4 bars. It's got its own instrument, so you can change the instrument, and yes, you can do the slow down trick to make it play slower, so you can get up to 64 bars, whereas I think you can only get up to 16 on the OPZ. But yeah, if you get the OPZ, like you can totally learn like a ton of how if you're already familiar with it, you'll have a sense for how a lot of this stuff works. There's a lot of subtle differences, but there's nothing that I've found that I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't figure this out. And barring just not understanding how a few things work, I haven't like felt like I've needed a cheat sheet yet. Like I did my OPZ, I've got the skin on it that has on the back all the things. What I was going to show you is here. We've got drum kit playing right now. I can switch over and switch this. It doesn't even have to be a drum kit. I can change this into, I don't know, let's go wavetable. So this is a wavetable, and I wouldn't do this usually because I think it's easy to get lost what you're doing, but now it's a drum kit. And now it's a wavetable again. And you can do that across any of your tracks. So if you end up with like, you're trying to just figure out how to squeeze in like a certain sound and you're like, well, I've only got like one little slot here left, you can totally do that, which is pretty neat. I did post a bunch of videos on this, but you can, like on the, maybe not a bunch, I posted like 4 videos last week that showing weird stuff you can do with the brain. So on the OPZ, it will not apply the tone shifting, kind of like the brain where it's doing like changing the scales. It won't apply those to drum tracks. In the OPX XY, you can come in here and under 2, you can determine which tracks you want it to apply to. It will apply to anything. So like I could come in here and turn it off, or yeah, I can leave it on for 1, 2, and 3, which are currently all drum tracks. I can turn it off for all the other ones, and I can start doing weird stuff with this now. where it's doing the shift and then picking different drums to play. So it's keeping the same rhythm, but you're getting like completely different sounds and effectively patterns out of it. I can I just accidentally hit this and was like, oh, because I kept saying like, oh, it's kind of too bad you can't do this for on like some chops, and I happen to have some chops in it, and it's like it'll resequence chops doing the same thing. The only thing is, if you do this with chops that are melodic, you're then going to want to turn it off for like instruments, because otherwise it's going to pitch shift the instruments while it's going to just pick different chops for things that you've done. But what was it? One of these? This track where I did... No. Which one? Trying to see. One of the... Did I throw it away? I might have just dumped it because it was terrible. I don't think it's this. Well, anyway, I don't have any... I have some other projects. I forget what they're named off the top of my head, but yeah, you can get into doing really weird stuff here because you can use the brain and... oops, let's switch to the right track. So right now, it's going to go super slow. Let's speed it up. Let's say I just want to have like a weird flip on the end here. I can put that here, make that like the last two notes. Why is it holding so long? It shouldn't be holding that long. Try again. I might be hitting a bug. Sometimes when you change the length of patterns, it gets really weird about it. Let's go back here. I'm just gonna... We'll delete the empty... Yeah, we'll delete the empty one. Make a new one. Let's just see if I can... I may have done this to myself because I got the track length is super long. See, it's getting weird. So, and I intentionally had it not pitch the other sounds here just so that they don't get too weird. There's something going on here. How do I get out of how do I get out of brain jail? Let's delete this again. Let's go new. I'm gonna without it playing, let's drop it down to 1. I'm gonna go new again and just see. Nah, we're stuck. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, if I just record it in, it's working fine. There's some kind of a bug here. Anyway, what I was trying to show was you can also do you can layer this stuff with punch-in effects and just start getting like really crazy. I haven't used this as a technique for any tracks yet that I've done, but as I said, I could see just being able to punch in and have it like just kind of change up in a cool way at the end, but probably just doing like 1 or 2 tracks instead of a whole bunch of stuff. Because if I go turn this on for like all the other tracks, it's gonna start getting to be like, I think it gets to be too much. It's like, okay, now I just changed all the instruments and the drums are going crazy. And you can record all this stuff, so you can get kind of crazy. Like, you can record in like a lot of this. You can't. They haven't seemed to allow you to record in sample start and end times or loop positions, which I hope they add that, because I think you'll be able to get some really neat movement in a track, but I haven't seen that happen yet. But yeah, you can get pretty wild. Well, I guess I'm going to drop here. I had to go back to building out some, or converting samples to 44.1 kilohertz and 16-bit. But we'll say, everybody, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the questions. Keep making music. Keep having fun. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good. And peace.